Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. A wildlife organization in Taiwan is teaching people with disabilities to care for injured animals. The goal is to give them a new skill set and a chance to make animal friends. John Van Triest has this story.
This injured owl is among several animals returning to the wild. They're the Taichung Wild Animal Protection Association's latest success stories. The association has invited a group of people with developmental disabilities from neighboring Nantou County in central Taiwan to help with its release program. But some of the animals, like this eagle, need lifelong care. And the visitors from the care center are here to help give these animals the love and support they need too.
老鹰其实危险的不是它的嘴巴，是它的脚。对，所以我们会戴手套嘛。那等一下再抓它的时候，我会直接把它放在你的手套上面。
举高，对，好，好，可以，可以。
It doesn't take long for the volunteers and the animals to get acquainted.
可以增加他们的生活体验，可以改变他们的心境，这个是帮助他们的。他们来照顾动物，我相信对动物照顾也是好的。这样两边互相帮助之下，我觉得对整个野生动物保育是有正向的提升。
After learning the basics of caregiving, they'll volunteer once a month to help feed and clean up after their new animal friends, giving them an important role in the protection of Taiwan's wildlife. Chris Ma and John Van Triest for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's aging population issue doesn't only apply to humans. It's also hitting the country's pets. And animal shelters are struggling to cope with the long-term care of their elderly residents. Reese Ayers reports.
With limited mobility and suffering from dementia, 16-year-old Lilu eats mush through a syringe. Just one of dozens of animals in need of constant care, living at this government-run shelter in New Taipei.
他如果躺着的时候，我们会帮他，就是手啊、脚啊稍微动一下。每天是要帮他挤尿。
Just like their human counterparts, Taiwan's pets are facing a crisis of age, as fewer caregivers try to cater to a growing number of animals requiring long-term care.
一般的动物跟需要长照的动物其实很大的区别就是它的活动力其实会下降。我觉得比较难照顾的大部分就是后躯瘫痪或者是卧床的动物，需要帮它翻身啊，或者是让它起来，至少坐轮椅稍微活动一下。
Staff at this shelter, one of just 8 such government-run shelters in a city that's home to over 300,000 pets, craft their own solutions to their residents' needs, such as homemade wheelchairs for animals with mobility issues and collision guards for pets with visual impairments. But scarce resources limit how much help staff can give on site.
人力有办法做到的部分，其实我们会尽力去做。需要进一步做到医疗打点滴或者是插鼻胃管那些，我们会后送到动保处去做进一步的医疗。
To help cope with an aging pet population, the New Taipei Animal Protection Office is planning to build a municipal long-term pet care hospital, though some veterinarians recommend pet owners and shelters consider more humane options for ailing animals.
We have met the owner that want to postpone as long as the animals can live. We actually have a scale that of the quality of life scale that we will perform, which is the 5H to M scale. The 5H is the hydration, heart, hunger, hygiene, and happiness. 2M means mobility, and does the animal have more good days than the bad days? And if the point is under 35, then I will suggest to do the euthanasia.
As Taiwan's 4-legged residents age alongside their owners and shelters begin reaching capacity, animal lovers will be forced to consider when's the right time to say goodbye. Andy Sher and Reese Ayers for TaiwanPlus.
Billions of cicadas are set to swarm across much of North America this spring in a once every 2 centuries event, and it could get really smelly. Sally Jensen has more.
You may know them for their mating calls that together can be as loud as a motorcycle, the cicada. The insect has a long lifespan. There's one type that lives for 13 years and another that lives for 17. And they spend almost all of that time underground. But if you live in North America, you may see something special this year. Starting at the end of April, 16 Midwest and Southeast US states are set for a simultaneous explosion of these green bugs in a rare event known as a dual emergence.
And being able to see something that no living person has ever been able to see, and somebody only about 6 or 7 generations from now will be able to see again, I think it's just really, really, really exciting.
Cicadas are completely synchronized with one another. So every single 13-year-old cicada will simultaneously tunnel through the ground to the surface at the same time. They'll fly around to find a mate, shed their exoskeletons, and then die. They do this to evade predators. Forming swarms gives them strength in numbers, and most of them survive to the next generation. It's hard for predators to have cycles that sync with the cicadas. After all, being underground for 13 and 17 years, they almost never synchronize with each other, apart from every 221 years. The last time that this happened was in 1803, and entomologists say this year there could be billions of them.
So those really rare events are the opportunities for those cicadas to be all out, and maybe for the species to meet each other, for crossings between species to occur, for co-evolution to happen.
When they decay, their bodies produce an unforgettable smell like that of rotting nuts. So the sheer numbers expected in urban areas mean cicada removal measures might be needed. This year's double whammy will likely end in early July. Scientists recommend leaving the cicadas alone if possible, since they're good for the ecosystem, don't bite or sting, and don't carry diseases. Ethan Pan and Sally Ensign for TaiwanPlus.
Japan is known for its cafes with cuddly critters, and now ones featuring mini pigs are rising in popularity. Eric Gao takes a look.
Hogging the spotlight. These micro pigs live at a cafe in Tokyo, where they attract tons of visitors. Lots of people come to snuggle with the tiny trotters.
豚さんは犬猫ちゃんと比べると大きく違う点が人懐っこいっていったところで、カフェでは基本的に豚さん人の膝の上でまったりしています。
The Piggies are super popular, with the cafe expanding to 10 branches in the last few years. The little porkers are very friendly, love the attention, and often compete for lap space.
But we just thought the pig cafe was a little bit different. Yeah, something that the kids wouldn't always get to hold and pet.
Oh, they're just so cute. So tiny and so small, and kind of want to take one home now.
Japan is known for its animal cafes, letting visitors interact with common pets like cats, dogs, and rabbits, and also more exotic animals like owls, hedgehogs, or even snakes. It's not just their cuteness that attracts people. Playing with animals can be good for a person's well-being.
There is mounting evidence that associating with and owning pets can provide mental health and physical health benefits for people. It suggests that there's also mental health benefits in terms of decreasing stress hormones, more of a feeling of well-being. In terms of how they do these things, that remains to be determined.
While these interactions are good for people, there are some concerns about how the animals do. Animal rights activists say more regulation may be needed for this industry.
I think, again, ethical sourcing of the animals, what happens when the animals leave the cafe. I think all these things are important considerations. And I think it does come down probably to government regulation.
These piggies, at least, are very well loved, and they'll keep welcoming visitors and looking for laps to lay on.
This one's literally asleep.
John Su and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website and follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we bring you this footage of thousands of people swarming the streets of Dunkirk, France for its annual carnival. I'm Ethan, take care, and I'll see you next time.